Make sure it's working. Let's take a look. Looks like it's loading. All right, guys. So before we get any further, I did see a spoiler for this chapter in a thumbnail. You just can't help it. I'm not trying to look for it, but it pops up, right? So I know we're getting a surprise in this chapter, but what really got me by surprise is it looks like we actually are going right in to Togashi. I'm very surprised, Mr. Sensei. You typically deviate when you do something like this, but it looks like we're getting at least a taste of the Benjamin assassination plot. Well, going through the halls and getting rid of all the non-cocking guards and other staff. This could be a bloodbath, guys. This could be nuts. So, but I know about the other spoiler. I know some folks read this with me for the first time. I'm not going to say what it is. Hopefully you weren't spoiled as well. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to play the Cyclone theme today. And I know the World Cup is coming soon, so wanted to get started a little bit earlier today. I know folks might have plans. Rooting for Spain myself, but we'll see what happens, huh? So I'll be back in about 15 or so, and we will get started.
Pathetic. My fate is seen. I see all. How fortunate that you're still alive. How fortunate that you're still alive.
This stopped here. And before we go any further, let me just make sure that I sound good. I see you. Thanks. What's up? I will chat with you after the reaction. Thank you for being here, and I'm glad that you're here. I do know a spoiler about this chapter. If you didn't hear earlier, me say that. It's look, the thumbnails are crazy, man. People just post up, and it's like, all right, cool. I can't help it. I try very hard not to get spoiled, and the algorithm finds me anyway. So I try. Luckily, it shouldn't have a massive bearing on the current plot. What I'm really intrigued by, we look to be going right in to the game plan here with Benjamin. The hell? We're going in? I thought we were going to. I swore this was a Togashi detour. Now, we're not going to likely get all of this because I know the spoiler. Because something kind of off to the side happens, allegedly. But, like, we're going in right now? That's not a Togashi move, typically. He's locked in, man. So I'm looking forward to this chapter quite a bit. Knowing that we are getting some of this to happen, I think we're going to see some of these assassination attempts fail miserably. That's my theory. However, we also have to understand where in 410 the timing was for martial law. Martial law was declared in 410. And Benjamin made it sound like he still had to round up the princes. Of course, the 4 left remaining, we think we know who those are, but we might find out more as to what leads to that 4 prince scenario. Maybe now, now or next chapter. So it depends, right? The title of this chapter is Friends. I know where this is leading, so but I have no context or clue as to like why, how, what. So that does remain to be seen, and we will figure that out together. Given that the World Cup is today, I know that some folks might be having plans. They need to go to parties and things like that. So I think it's good to get started around now. We'll have plenty of time to digest and discuss so that folks can enjoy this and then, go watch that awesome final match. Go Spain. Good luck to both teams. I'm not a fan of football at all. I'm just having, fun. I got buddies who are really into it. But that's okay. I'm thrilled that at least there's a big storyline in the World Cup this year. So we'll see what happens. So, but before we get to the World Cup, let's get to the Cocking Cup, okay? Because we are literally here in room 7. Losers. Is this Halkenberg? I did some stuff, guys. I read up on some ideas. I did some thinking. The thought is Halkenberg shot himself into Lutherus, and that's why he's on the run. Or that's why he was able to avoid catastrophe. Here we go. Now, I don't, frankly, remember all of the guards' names, but Confucius over here, sorry, I don't know who this guy is. He's the knife man. He's the man with the knife. So we're at 10:07. Guard is sleeping in his bunk. Confucius pops out, literally just whoop. He leaps over the man. Wait. Okay, no. So he's on the side. He leaps over. Mouth. Oh! Damn. Basho! What the fuck are you doing? Basho! You can't sense this shit, Basho? What are you doing? You writing haikus? Basho, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Your guy just got gutted like a fish. Come on. Instant death. Oh my God, instant death. 1 down. Oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. Gets my adrenaline going. Oh my freaking God, we're getting in now. Bro, the pillow stab, bro. Come on, making sure he's dead. Holy crap. Martial law on the intercom. 5 more minutes. Oh no, he's saying martial law, 5 more minutes. I just can't wait for the order. I'll kill everyone who resists. I'm a fighter, not a thinker, baby. He's a shonen character. Oh my God. Dude's barefoot, bro. He has the foot thing going on. Uh-oh. I also like his eyebrows are like kind of a smile. You notice that too? That's kind of a fun touch there, Togashi. Looks like his eyebrows are smiling. This dude's too joyous for the occasion. Holy crap. The guards outside, they go, hey, something's going on with the first prince's personal guards. Let's tell our prince. They rush in. It's Rice. I'm coming in. So they're still outside there. Was an inside shot. This is what I'm confused about. Inside shot, but the princes are the guards. Wait, no. They close the door behind them, right? The outside looks like that. The inside looks like that. I'm a little bit so we have the cross section on the floor. I think those are the doors outside and inside because they're two different doors, right? So the inside doors have, okay, these are the guys inside, and this is inside the room. Okay, got it. Okay. His Highness is sleeping. Talk to me, says Basho. And he says, I'm awake, Loserous. Can you get me some water? I'm parched, bro. Basho, wake up, bro. Basho. And the guard says, 2 of the first prince's men are in front of room 9 with machine guns. Something's going on in the dead 9th prince's room. Oh, that sounds so fucking vulgar. And wait a minute, why? Are they? Why? Why are they going into the Saleh's room? Luzrus is like, oh? No. What? Is that, are they like turning that into their base of operation or something? Is someone using a Nen ability in there? I bet one of Ben's guards is using that room to cast an ability of some kind. Oh shit. Loserous! In his getup, it started. Basho says, what? Loserous says, special martial law. He's calling Halkenberg's death a terrorist attack. Or he could make it look like Halkenberg was responsible for everything. Heads up, y'all. Don't resist. Put down your weapons where they can see them. They'll start shooting as soon as the order goes out. Don't wait. Whoa, wait a minute. He's saying B. He said, wait a minute. We know his Nen Beast lays traps. Wait a minute. He says, don't resist. Okay. Loser is showing his intent. Dude, how tall is... Dude, Loserous is like 8 feet tall. I didn't realize he was that tall. Wait a minute. What the hell? I didn't realize he was like a Benjamin wannabe. He's like 8 feet tall, bro. What the hell? He's huge. Okay. Got it. They'll start shooting as soon as the order goes out. I just like never really put that together, how big this man is. He's crazy. So don't resist. That goes in line with his Nen Beast. So like, there's something interesting there. We continue. Loserous points to his guard. Come here. Stall Benjamin's guy. They won't mess with a hunter associate. Just freestyle some excuse. My man is pulling out his rap. I think he's... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did Benny's boy kill a Hunter Association member? Wait a minute. Yeah, he got both of them. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, you're screwed, buddy. Oh, he's toast. Wait a minute. That wasn't the order. Hold on. Wait a minute. Something's up. They're not supposed to kill association members, at least to my memory, right? They're supposed to kill non-affiliated, like Cockine guards, basically. Hunter Association members, they're screwed. We continue. I think he's sleeping, says the guard. If people are on the move out there before the order drops, they've already hit him up on wireless. Hurry. Don't let him out of the break room. This is an order to all of y'all. Get rid of every bit of the stash in the bedroom. Throw it all in a pot and burn it now. Get rid of the drugs. Oh, my God. Rice, come here. All right, he's going to the, oh my goodness. Basho, I thought we had a deal with the Justice Department. Kaiser, oh my God. Right? That's Kaiser, right? Basho, I thought we had a deal with the Justice Department. And then Mohawk here says, once martial law hits, the military will control everything and will not cut us any slack. Yeah, carte blanche, no limits on the control. Basho, if the ship becomes a military dictatorship, they can throw the book at you for anything. What's the point of, and then he says, just do it, Prince's orders. Basho wants to save the Kush? Basho, priorities, bro. Get your head, Basho, get out of your trance and get with it, bro. You've been smoking too much. What the fuck is going on here? The guard goes in, turns the corner, and we got Ben's boy. Oh. The reaction. Oh. Come on, man. Uh-oh. Nen! Here we go. Why'd you kill him? Now they're going through what Room 9's already gone through. And then Ben's boy says, it was self-defense. He attacked first. Both have Nen ready. The hunter member says, put down your weapon and explain what's going on. Depending on the circumstances, judicial review may be necessary. And then Ben's guy says, I don't have a problem putting it down. Weird. Who's checking whom? Stare down. Stare down. Room 8, Sully's room. What? Wait a minute. What? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Room 9. I'm sorry. I thought it was an 8. Glasses. 9. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Room 9. No response. If anyone is inside and they say it's treason as far as the Royal Military is concerned. This is that guard. I'm forgetting his name. Sorry, guys. Buzzcut and Baldy over here. So Buzzcut says it's treason as far as the Royal Military is concerned. The purge under martial law came sooner than expected. But that's convenient for me. Yeah, this is the guy who killed Sully, the Stinger. What the hell is his, oh my God, Sakatov? We'll cover it in the post-chapter discussion. He's Stinger Man. So Stinger Man says, my ability to kill with my Stinger Ball while keeping them inside my N isn't cut out for group combat between Nen users to begin with. We get a full description on Stinger. Togashi moment, guys. Random guard. We know the guard. He's already gotten a kill in this war. It's a big deal. Big real estate points on this guy. He killed one of the princes. That's massive. So if he was working for Morena, he's an ultra threat, right? Just thematically. So I'm pretty defenseless inside my N. Really? Because he's not a good combatant close up. It's risky enough letting people inside your N, unless you're Pito, or Zen, or Nobunaga. Otherwise, or Kite. Otherwise, you're screwed, yeah. It's risky enough letting people inside your N. You can't use Gyo. Wait a minute. What? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a feat scaling statement for Neferpito, who during N use could literally scan visually all of her targets, or their targets, whatever you wanted to say, while using N. Literally breaking the rules. What do you mean? You're not supposed to be able to use Gyo and N at the same time. Holy shit. I mean, it kind of makes sense because N's like you're taking all of your aura away from your eyes, right? I love when Togashi does this and he like puts his power scaling under a microscope and his power system under a microscope. As puts his power system under a microscope, it leads to the ability to power scale and analyze the text in other ways. That's the best part of Togashi's writing. This little tiny statement that just gasses up Pito way more. Way more. Are you kidding? Oh, it's a Nen ability. Even so, it's a visual Nen ability, which this text indicates using N and visual prowess together doesn't really work. It's not, you have to commit to one or the other. But here, yeah. So you can't use Gyo at the same time. So even a pistol will be fatal. Not to mention, it's psychologically no easy feat to maintain N whilst you literally just got power scaling right here for the level of talent that's certain. Like right here is a statement of the power system, right here. It is hard to maintain N with many targets around. Every time your N touches something, it adds extra strain to using N. That's basically what this is saying. That's basically what this is saying. Physical attack, Nen attack, psychological pressure, info from the five senses. Stinger Man is not happy, and his eyes are looking like this. The wider you cast the N, the riskier a clash with someone else becomes. If I run into an ability that automatically attacks someone who's using N or Gyo, or a tag team of one guy using N while the other emits Nen bullets, Franklin Nobunaga combo, anybody? Yeah, I'm a goner. Yeah. No, he's a goner. So Stinger, who again, if we're doing like a point system, this guy actually right now on the board is tied for first place in terms of his usefulness. He got rid of one of the princes. Rihan got rid of a Nen Beast. That puts him in second. But Stinger Man, we'll remember his name after the chapter. He's actually tied for first with the guy who killed Momose. Who is he dead now? I think Basho took care of him, right? Was it? We'll have to review that. But basically, that's why I'm trying to talk about why Togashi, as the author, is talking about this guy, because he has more weight to the plot because he's already committed a murder of the prince, which is a big deal. That's a huge achievement in this war. So, but check audio levels quickly. Sounds good. Okay. We can call him Stinger. All right, for now. I'm just going to call him Stinger for now. So Stinger says that Karapika guy is encouraging more of my rivals to become Nen users. It's becoming impossible to keep using Stinger balls. What? The queen? What? Wait, what? Oito? Or Sully, who's this? All right, hang on. Now the lore is getting too. I gotta look this up now. Hunter, Queen. Swinko, right? The fifth queen, is he talking about Swinko Swinko or Oito? Oh my God. And let's see if we can find this guy's name. No, it doesn't. No. Yushori. So Yushori. This is Yushori. That's the name of the guy. I mean, we haven't talked about Yushori since Sally Sully's death. I mean, that is literally like 7 or 8 years ago. So please understand, I don't do homework for this as much as like other people, but Yushori has more weight in this war. He's worried about his ability in a scenario like this. He is worried about tag teams. He's worried about Gyo and end use. And he's allegedly using the stinger ball on the queen. So let's keep reading. My ability would be most effective if a prince could be confined, alone, and under surveillance. Camilla? Camilla? Hello? Hi? Why didn't you use him on Camilla, Benny? You have secret window on that bitch. Where is he? Where's Stinger Ball and Camilla? But once the princes are, my point is, Stinger Ball, it might be that it's kind of a moot point because he'll die anyway. But if Stinger Ball is a death over time, a slow poisoning, which we know, can he, like, could Ben, like, get rid of this guy? You know, before the poison actually kills off Camilla. That's the theory is you're going to kill Camilla by killing the assailant first. That's the point. So if it's a poison ability, you kill the person who poisoned her, the Nen ability can't actually kill the killer. But then the question becomes, would the Nen then target the person who tried to do that? We don't know the limits. Can Camilla's cat track the chain of events to basically always guarantee a counter? That's the question we don't know. So, story said, he needs a prince under surveillance and alone. But once the princes are held under martial law, it doesn't even have to be my ability anymore. Meaning, my ability is no longer needed in this succession battle. Yushoshi says, the other guy says, we go in when the order comes out. And Yushoshi says, Roger. That's why they paired me with Chiyamasi. So Chiyamasi and Yushohi. Okay. Chiyamasi is Baldy. Okay. And Chiyamasi says, are you ready for this? And Yushohi says, of course. Here we go. Nen power. Chiyamasi, Nen activated, grabs Yushohi. Here we go. More abilities. Mute King, the invincible hero, Lord of the... Togashi, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Lord of the Flies? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Manipulative, semi-coercive. Touching a volunteer for a period of time. What the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? Equal time invincible. He gets a Mario star. What the fuck are we talking about? How broke, you know how broken that is? The word is invincible. The word isn't. Now let's see if there's a condition. What? Invincible. He becomes like APR. Like, you can't kill him. Once that time runs out, the touching time, Zetsu is forced on you for 100-fold for the same amount of time. 100-fold as the penalty. But bro, for an in-game mission, this dude, guys, do you know how broken this shit is? Ready for this? Watch this play out. Ready? This dude walks up to Meruem with a rose bomb. And the mother effer detonates it. And guess what? He's fine. He's literally fine from the rose. He could walk up with a freaking rose bomb in him, detonate that sucker within the time frame, and be fine. Then, you know what? A helicopter takes him away so he doesn't get poisoned. Bro, are you, what the? I'm blown away by this net. I am blown away. The potential for this Nen ability is freaking. Oh. Okay, wait a minute. Togashi's. Okay. After the Zetsu period, you receive 1/3 of the damage you would have taken with a rebound of your own aura. Oh. Togashi reeled it back. Togashi kept us in play. I was about to go I thought this guy could like survive a nuclear explosion. No, Togashi brought it back. You still have to be able to withstand 1/3 of the overall damage you would have taken. Okay, Togashi's not letting us have too much fun now. He's reeled it back. So it's invincibility given the moment to moment what you do. Then 1/3 of whatever damage you were supposed to take is basically put onto you. Got it. Got it. Great. Okay. Togashi, man, throwing me for a loop, man. Oh my God. Note, a symbiotic attack from a team of Nen users cannot be. What? Wait. Note, a symbiotic attack. Halkenberg. Is that implying wait a minute. Hold on. Is that implying that Halkenberg's Nen ability is inherently invincible because it is symbiotic? Like in lore? Like if that's a lore statement, whoa. Okay. That could be a rule of Nen. If you're using Nen with the contribution of others symbiotically, and the word symbiotic is really key here, it means that both parties have to mutually agree to the actual ability itself and using it, like completely in harmony. So there's a little bit more into it than just like, two Nen abilities fusing. It's the will of both symbiotic forces working in tandem fully together. It cannot be blocked. We know the arrow is unblockable. So, Yoshoshi says, I've confirmed with N that there's only one person inside. But depending on the total damage that's nullified. After the invincibility ends, I'm going to die. Wait a minute. Halkenberg is not in there. wait, no. No. He's not here. He's not here right now. No. He's not in here. No, Togashi's not dropping him right here. There's no fucking chance. No. We're not about to see. No, we're not. He's not coming. No, he's not here. One person by himself? No. We know Halkenberg isn't here right now. He's with all the people. And he shot an arrow, right? He can only sense one person. Here we go. We're not going to see it. Of course not. This is likely. My theory is all this stuff here is going to be at like the last chapter of this batch. 1014. I've noticed while 8th Queen Oito was passed out with Karapika, and I had to change his diaper. I was confused and upset. But looking at 14th Prince Wobble, I mean, he's not the prince. But when I looked into the baby's face, I don't want to be rude, but none of it seemed to matter. My duty was to take care of the two of you, so I kept doing my job. But I'm worried about the real Wobble. I'm sure she's somewhere safe. But what's going to happen to her? Karapika says, I really can't say. It depends on the last prince standing. And this is Oito, if, as Karapika says, there's no resolution before we reach land, could the surviving princes all be saved? Karapika says there are two major problems. First, Beyond's curse. If the requirement to activate it is to officially participate in succession, Prince Wobble won't be included. But in case participation in the seed urn ritual activates it, big detail, it's quite possible. And Oito says it's quite possible. It's inconceivable for someone to complete the ritual, yet that was my point. You put your blood into this sacrifice. It's obviously you're in. It gave you an end beast. You're in. Karapika says, furthermore, since the prince was born recently, if they don't have enough time, and the curse had to be activated once on board somehow, Oito says, this baby could be cursed? Is that possible? That was my theory, was that this baby's switch with the sister was a plant by Beyond. Karapika says, yes. In fact, I felt something like a Nen fluctuation close to the prince shortly after coming to the court. The black man, it's being explained. Karapika says, I was turned away, and it was just for a moment. I have no way to find out what it was now. An unidentified assassin's Nen. Or could it belong to the first prince's men? As for the activation conditions, we can only ask Beyond himself. Let's go. Please ask Beyond. Please. I'm just going to make sure we're live and good. Give me a sec. Seems fine. We can only ask Beyond himself. It's possible I steel chain the ability myself. Karapika? Whoa! Yeah, Karapika caught himself there. I could absorb it with steel chain, but it's probably very difficult to fulfill the conditions to activate the curse. If I remain unable to clear the hurdle, I'll die. Yeah. Bill says, that's suicide. The most realistic thing to do is to negotiate with Beyond. But Kakin will never let him free. Bill, grow up, buddy. What are you talking about? Beyond's in with the Supreme Court, bro. He's in. He's been in for years. That's, by the way, why all these lawsuits are happening, because Beyond is going to literally tear up the legal standing of the kingdom. That's my theory. And so all of this, who's it, what's it, whatever, is going to be voided. So, yeah, screw you all. The Supreme Court just said I'm free. And Beyond himself won't want to leave. They have a mutual interest in him staying put until we reach our destination. Karapika says, yes, it's doubtful he'd admit the curse is his doing either. Bill says, Karapika, I'm sure you're aware, but there's one condition. That's a sure thing. Harry Potter! The Hunter Association giving him a pardon. Oh, my. He's reading the legal documents, bro. Harry Potter he's ready. Oh, my freaking God, man. He's reading. When you see a character, look at his arm. His arm is bigger than his head. When you see a character with an arm that size, look at his arm. What are we talking about? Look at the size of the handcuff. It's bigger than his head. This man's been punching through mountains, bro. No. And all he's doing is reading. This is such a peak decision to make him a freaking legal analyst, because he's extremely intelligent. Beyond is extremely intelligent. A lot of characters are extremely intelligent, but he is literally, again, Harvey Specter. You guys got to watch Suits. I get big recommendation. If you haven't watched Suits and you like the Succession War, you have to watch Suits now. Just watch it, because a lot of it is it's the interplay between the law and the personal factors that go into a court case or winning an argument. It's all about what steps you take, what actions you take to be the victor in both the eyes of the law, but as well in the people that you're arguing. Beyond is Harvey Specter. He's Mike Ross. This guy has already trained his body to the limits, and he's also a legal scholar. This is absolutely broken. Yeah. So Bill says, exactly. Beyond will take the bait. Karapika says, out of the question. It was Chairman Netero's last order. Yeah, an order that was obviously meant to be broken. Knowing how goofy and crazy Netero was, he wants this all to be a game. It's always a game. It's always. Bill says his order, Netero's order, was to bring back a solution to the calamities. It could be a win-win if we play it right. Karapika says, no, there's the contract with the V5. We can't involve the Hunter Association. First off, Beyond is willing to sacrifice his own children to realize his ambition. He'd never talk about the curses, the crux of his plans, and if he did talk, it'd likely be a trap. Bill! That's why we're going to set a trap of our own. Bill Nye the Science Guy, here we go. Bill Nye the Science Guy continues. Remember that woman's ability, Longhi? Yeah. Maybe we could use it somehow. And he's scheming, casually putting a clause about abilities. Or he's going to, Bill, you ain't no, Bill thinks he can just float some legal bullshit past him. Bill, you're thinking like a rookie, bro. Casually putting a clause. Nah, Nah, no clause is getting by this man. Harry Potter ain't falling for that shit. He's gonna read it. And he probably has like a Nen ability to actually look for concerning words or some shit. Like his yo can probably locate words of concern or some bullshit like that. Casually putting a clause about abilities or using the penalty for breach of contract, there must be something. And then Karapika looks at him. Bill, aren't you on Beyond's side? Why are you doing this? I'm glad you're not on Beyond's side, says Bill. Bill says, I don't have a commitment or a deep connection to still do what he says. After learning what he's done and what he plans to do. Sure, you're the type to stick to your guns once you commit yourself. Bill pointing to Crollo. Literally, a lot of villains are like that. Fantastic. Could we not? Dude, Karapika's little kawaii face here, bro. It's so fucking funny. Togashi's a goofball, man. Like, come on. And yeah, a lot of villains are like that. Fantastic. Doesn't make me want to hang out his side of work. Yeah, he wants to. He's tired of his working conditions. He's tired of the role. He's tired of the company. He's done, man. He's burnt out. He heard this shit and he's like, "What am I working for? What the hell? Where's my severance? I'm out of here." Karapika says, "Somehow I don't think that's a compliment." Bill says, and he's straightening himself up. My goal has shifted completely to protecting Queen and Prince. But I'm a little ambivalent, and I have my own desires. Our people get priority. But isn't there a way to just stop the whole succession battle? Yes! That's what I've been saying! The law, the Supreme Court, they're gonna literally eradicate the concept of a kingdom. That's how you do it. If you write out, because again, folks, you've got to understand, the king of Kakin, a monarchy only exists if there's a monarchy. The will of the king only exists, and this would also put stakes on the battle and the power of the ceremony, is if the kingdom still is a kingdom. If you legally, culturally change Kakin into a democracy, you erase what a kingdom even is. There is then no inheritor for succession. That is my theory about what's going on here. And then Morena can run ramp shot just across the whole. So, and then Bill, let's see what Bill says. I think the Hunter Association will get on board with undermining the succession battle. None of the associates want continued bloodshed. The ones who fear it collapsing and losing the protection of the spirit beasts are the current king and the diehards. Sound familiar? Who want to be the heir to his power. Beyond and the higher ranking princes. Wait a minute. Why differentiate to the higher ranking? I know in a very direct sense why he would say this, because they've been brainwashed for longer, they've been indoctrinated longer, they're older, they have the opportunity to take over. But wouldn't a kid want to be king? Oh, yeah. Like, why the really higher ranking princes? They have better net, I guess. Bill is getting, I love this because we are really getting massive insight. If Bill dies now, it's going to feel bad. Like Bill, I put red flags on all over Bill. Red flag, Bill. Red flags. Because if we lose Bill, it's a character we've grown to like over the years. He's not ultra important, and he has his own ambitions, but he's choosing to be a guardian and a protector. If Bill goes out in a blaze of glory, man, saving their hides, being a distraction, whatever, but this is the sort of character where death flags all over him. Let's see. Bill says the Hunter Association banding together to block Beyond's curse. We would need an exorcist. Camilla's weakening the Cockeen dynasty legally and installing the cleaner princes for new management is a good idea. The V5 will go for it under the pretext of saving the princes who are hostages of the curse. Releasing Beyond is fine as long as it's not permanent. Get him later on another charge. Bill! Beyond released at any point, it's game over. What are you talking about? I mean, if this guy literally stays in his jail cell after they offer him freedom, it's over. And if he gets out, whoop. What is Bill assuming that he can't escape? What? Here comes a special version airship. Whoop! It can fly around the planet. A Nen user who can fly. Beyond can fly. I mean, what are we talking about? Teleport. There's a submarine. He's going in the submarine. Like, come on, Bill. Dealing with the curse now is the top priority, right? Bill does say, I know more about Beyond than you, so hear me out. I don't buy it for a second. He's capable, confident, and a man-child who loves a strategy game. My man is playing Dota 2. He's playing Civilization, bro. Beyond is literally playing Civilization with Pariston. Oh my God. He'll take a challenge and won't refuse a game of cat and mouse. Yeah, Netro Isaac was also a man-child. Bill, are you stopping Isaac Netro from doing what he wants? No. No. And by the way, we are literally getting a parallel that Beyond is not a man-child. Look, does a man-child go through all this legal work willingly? No. We are literally getting a contradiction to Bill right here. A man-child does not learn the law inside and out. Bill, you're cooked, bro. I'm sorry. Beyond is going to skewer you, bro. This is bad. Bill, shut up, bro. Oh my God. Bill continues. He'll talk about the curse because it's essential to his plan. He wants to talk about it. This annoying confidence is rooted in his elaborate scheme. That's why the Hunter Association should bring a stop to the succession battle. Oito's, and Bill looks over. And Oito says, there's the second problem still. Bill says, And then Karapika says, the second problem is that you yourself don't know where Prince Wobble is. I don't know what kind of arrangement you made when you swapped the kids. But you figured she'd be safer if you didn't know. Correct? Oito says, yes. If you have no idea, and then she couldn't be probed, she couldn't, right? So it makes sense. Karapika says, That means we can't refute the possibility that she's actually aboard the ship. Or she. By the way, it's kind of a plot hole because literally Cacho proved that having a Nen Beast means that you have to be within the vicinity of the war. Literally proven. So we know Nen Beast havers are participants and must also be within the vicinity of the war once it actually starts. That likely means that if this baby were not on board, the hands would have reached out from the ship and strangled her to death. On land. Probably. That is how it's implied from the narrative so far. Oito says, but surely that can't be possible. Karapika says, how do we prove that to the military? The first prince clearly hasn't abandoned that possibility. They'll be investigating on their own. Martially. This chapter is so chock full of stuff and dude, Bill, death flags. Bill says there's been a spate of murders in the lower tiers, so they're cracking down. They're probably rechecking IDs and the passenger manifest. Karapika says, yes, I've asked Pion to verify all passengers. Okay. Our little girl Pion, she's checking all the records. Okay. And everyone under 2 years old. Karapika says, since I haven't heard back, there's officially no hits. I'll have them recheck with a higher age. There could have been false reporting. Oh, obviously. Oito says, if we don't find her, she's not on board. So we can prove she's not participating, right? And Karapika says, no, the doubt will always remain. Oito says, oh no. Bill says, hey, Karapika, you don't have to be so blunt. Karapika says, there's no point in sugarcoating it. It's actually better that way. Since the baby swap was planned, the military will act according to what is most detrimental to them. In the case, Prince Wobble is still eligible somewhere on board. Until that is completely refuted, they'll still have to consider it. The best we could hope for is complete refutation. Is first, the king officially declares Prince Wobble ineligible, an official decree that Wobble is ineligible. Or second, Prince Wobble is proven to not be on board, not being discovered does not count as proof, so they can use that still as leverage. With the second option, we'd have to prove that over 200,000 people in mind, by the way, who leave the ship during the battle loses eligibility. Participating in the ceremony was the condition to be eligible. Is that true? Well, we're getting into language, guys. We're getting into language here and translations, but you're giving a blood pact to the urn. The urn gives you a spirit beast, and then as we saw, literally, Pacho died when trying to escape the ceremony. But is it the intent that causes the death? Is it that the baby can't even think for itself? So it could be on land thousands of miles away, but it has no intent of leaving, so it's still eligible? Is the succession battle able to have its Nen effect reach through countries and globally even? Possibly. Is it the intent of the prince to leave? If that's true, then a baby prince is actually way more of an interesting plot point because the baby doesn't know. So the baby can't leave willingly. Is it the will or the geographical distance? That's the question. It'll be difficult to prove that the one who was at the ceremony was your sister's son. And what if the real prince swapped with your nephew and somehow escaped after the ceremony? You can't refute that. Well, that we know is a problem. As long as the doubt cannot be removed, the higher ranking princes will assume that Prince Wobble is on. We are using this to our advantage here, folks. We are using this as leverage. Real or not, the factor of a real Prince Wobble is going to be a big plot point. Even if she's discovered outside, we'd have to prove that eligible princes will lose eligibility once they leave the ship. So, as long as they don't find her, they won't admit she's not participating and won't hold it against her? Yes. They won't be convinced until Prince Wobble is found somewhere. They need to actually find and verify this. They have to keep looking until she's found. And they need to make it clear one way or another so they can be the sole survivor. Right. So Prince Wobble could be the deciding factor, whether true or not, or still alive or not. But wait a minute. The life torch. Wait a minute. Until you have a body, so Wobble is still alive. So again, we just need to know if that baby in Unma's room is Wobble. That's all. The life torch has not lit. Therefore, a body and a prince has not been found. Therefore, because remember, guys, this is what's crazy, right? In theory, a body does not prove the life torch lights. A spirit does. A spirit. So if Wobble is deceased, even if not found or put in a coffin, it is theorized that the life torch would light anyway, because an empty corpse without Hulkenberg's soul did not light it. Right? And a dead body does not have a soul. The succession war seems to be tracking that a soul is gone. And it kind of follows the after death have not, excuse me, sorry, the tradition of the have-nots, right? So, again, that's why I gas Camilla up as not being a complete pushover, because the learning of that is a big deal. It follows the entire point of the ceremony. So this is all connected, right? So going back to the plot, even if she's discovered outside, we'd have to prove that eligible princes will lose eligibility once they leave the ship. So as long as they don't find her, they won't admit she's not participating and won't hold it against her? That's right, says Karapika. They won't be convinced until Prince Wobble is actually found. Put another way, they have to keep looking until she is found, and they need to make it clear one way or another so that they can guarantee being the sole survivor. Right. All this means that as long as she's not on board, she's invincible. The higher ranking princes won't be able to find her or determine her eligibility. This gray area fact will perpetuate. So she will inevitably be lower in priority as a target for elimination. But we get another comment from Oito. But if she was targeted with Beyond's curse, and Shimano says, if she's outside, whereabouts unknown, there's nothing we can do. And Karapika says, that's right. There are two paths to a solution. Elucidate Beyond's curse and find out whether Prince Wobble is a target. If she is, will have to identify Beyond's child, who is the curse sacrifice. If it's Cyreinic, this is freaking nuts. And undo the curse as soon as, oh. No, I know it's not. We know it's not, but like something like that would be crazy. And then Wobble says, the other is to find out where she is. She's invincible within the succession battle. But the opposite is true in the case of the curse. If she's a target, we need to find her ASAP and ask a good exorcist what to do. I know Camilla's exorcist is there. I get it. I know, but Abagane. Come on. Come on. Be on board, Abagane. Come on. After Adult Gone, you'd think they'd want the best exorcist on earth to be there, right? You can't have Adult Gone showing up again. Come on, man. Abagane fan club. Let's go. Bill says, what a meaty chapter. This is a peak lore dump, plot dump, sort of. This is crazy. So Karapika says, in terms of undoing the curse, the end result is the same. I split them up since the approach is completely different. Whether we remove the source of the curse or remove the curse from the target, well, remove the source of the, wait, you ain't touching Beyond. I'm sorry. We don't have enough time for enough people to do both in 10. So we should take the, first path. It goes well with Fifth Prince Longhe's contract fulfillment, but we need to assume the worst to prevent it. To solve the second problem, assume the curse is directed at Wobble and try to protect and exorcise her. I'd like to hire the Hunter Association to search for the prince. Cluck? Could Cluck find her with all her birds? Maybe? Wait, wasn't one of the Zodiacs good at finding people? Like hunting for people? Oh. Yeah, maybe. All right, says Oito. And then Karapika, we have like this transition here. I'd like to confirm once more. I know it's a fact that you don't know where she is. But don't you have a way to contact someone with an emergency? Oito looks down. He doesn't overestimate his ability, so he doesn't prematurely equate the conclusion with the truth, even when he uncovers some facts. And he knows that the queen's ignorance is the greatest weapon. That's why he'd kept quiet. Karapika playing the word game, the talk game. He is showing his capabilities as a hunter right here, right now. Jing freaks would be doing similar shit. I think this is Bill or Karapika speaking. I think it's Bill. He's thinking internally. He doesn't overestimate his ability. He's basically praising Karapika. Our worst case is that Prince Wobble is on board and is a cursed target. If we can find where she is, we can get the help of the hunters back home. Here's where the spoiler comes in. Could you tell me, until I found out about the curse, the worst case was that they'd find her after the new king was chosen, and then she'd be killed along with her family? Oito said Prince Cacho. So that lifeboat literally like either drove back to the ship or it gave off a beacon and they recovered the body. That's what happened. Prince Cacho proved that leaving the battle is a felony of death. As Karapika says, my admission could be a strategy to survive the succession battle, so there's no punishment. But the moment her ineligibility is proven, there'll be traitors and criminals. Our hope was that Prince Halkenberg would survive and become king, but now I have to trust in the limitations of the succession battle and pray that she's not cursed. If the Hunter Association can protect us, there are lots of hunters with different standpoints. They can be help. They can be of help, but I can't say you should trust all of them. But I can say this with certainty. This is from Oitos kneeling down, right? Is this Karapika speaking, or this is Oitos speaking here? If the Hunter Association can protect us, there are lots of hunters. I think Karapika is saying this. There are lots of hunters with different standpoints. They can be of help, but I can't say you should trust all of them. But I can say this with certainty. I promise. I have friends I can trust more than myself. I swear on my life. Leorio! Come on! Come on. Leorio, come on! They will protect the prince. Ah, there it is. Who the fuck is that? Who's with Gone? Wait a minute. Did Mito have another? What, did Mito have a kid or some shit? Wait. Come on, Drip. Aluka. Who the hell is this girl? A Whale Island? Is Gon teaching a new kid how to be a hunter? No. Is this another kid of Jing's? No. God damn it, bro. They will protect. Karapika, are you sure about that? You haven't been a great friend there, buddy. Are you sure they care? Are you sure they want to help you? Wait a minute. Hold on. Karapika, are you sure you have their trust? Are you sure? They look pretty content right now. I don't know. Who is this kid? I'm blown away that Gon's with a kid. I did not expect this. An adopted little sister? What the? Black hair, too. Don't tell me we have a little girl freaks around. Oh, God. And then Karapika says, I'm assuming, a relative on... Wait, no, is this Oito speaking? Whoa, we got to need context here. I think it's Oito speaking. A relative on my mother's side works at a post office in Yamato. Send a Bill. Bill might be saying this. A relative, or Shimano, anybody. A relative on my mother's side works at a post office in Yamato. Send a coded letter there without a return address. They'll intercept it and fill in the return address and then send it to the Kakin COD as unable to deliver due to unknown addresses. Since it was never delivered, there won't be a record of it. Using that loophole, $49 days left. Who is this child? Who is this child? What the hell is going on? Dude, Killua and Elko look like they're in Amsterdam or something. They're having a great time abroad. Killua wearing that drip, bro. Look at that drip. Always in the drip. Always in the drip. They look a little older. Gon has like a shoulder bag on or something. Enjoying the views, enjoying the breeze. Guys, this little girl, this is it, man. This is the hype. I mean, again, Oito having Oito. My gosh, man. This is crazy. Mito have another kid. Do we have another little freaks? A Whale Island prodigy? Jing introduces a cousin? Cousin freaks? This is crazy. All right, there's the chapter. A massive, massive chapter. This was like a 2-for-1 special. This was dense as hell. We're getting lots of interplay. We got some of the current arc stuff and Loserus, right? Basho, what the fuck, man? Get a grip. Stop smoking, bro. Get on your shit. Let's go. We need Abagane now. We got pseudo invincibility here. It's actual invincibility, but there will be death at the end of it, depending on the target. Who the hell, by the way, again, who's in Hulkenberg's room by themselves? Krollo, what the fuck? Hisoka, Illumi. Who the hell's in there? Another one for the books. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to the chat. What a chapter, guys. My brain was running because I had to try to really analyze the text. So no way, what's up? Yeah, don't waste the drugs. Basho, bro. Actually, before we go further, I need another refill. So give me a second. All right. Okay, people. We're good. We're good. We got Basho's happy about that. Okay, so what's up, Johnny? How are you? Chris says, what's up, Chris? Stinger guy may be wrong about Gyo. Maybe it is actually doable, but only at very great strain. Yeah, it's possible. Um, we don't like again. He's definitely not a top tier Nen user by any means, but um, when we have like these absolute statements by Togashi, I just always wonder what he's doing. I still think it does show how absolutely broken Pito was as a Nen user, that they could be sensory and use physical, crazy physical prowess. Like during N, she can still use all of her, like, it's like, what? That's insane. So, it's kind of like that as well. Chris says the Queen staff is actually interesting. As the Fran translation said, attached to the princes without being discovered by other guards. So the translation may be wrong. Yeah. Oh, bro, I mean, it is like the Queen staff is interesting. And by the way, I think it's Swinko, who Stinger has been on, not Oito, but Oito has been sluggish and tired. What has Oito been stung? Or they tried to sting? Like what? Something nutty there. The invincibility power like destroyed me because I should have read longer, but I have too much fun reading Togashi. He basically was like, "Hey, I touch you and you're invincible for X minutes." But then there is a counter, there is a consideration. A third of the damage is returned to you after your invincibility period ends. We're not getting the full Mario star. We're not just getting full invincibility. But, a more powerful Nen user and maybe a more powerful Nen pact where not only could he offer invincibility, but like you become loyal to him like a servant, maybe then you're invincible forever for that period. The potential with Nen, though, is there that you could make someone literally invincible with a Nen power. It's there. It's there. Like how we could get there, the conditions we could set, it exists, but we just have to figure out a way to do that. Pretty crazy. Yeah, Johnny, I talked myself into a corner on that one. That was pretty bad. However, he could set off the bomb and still do something else. If he was touched for like 3 days, he could get shit done. He's gonna die, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he's touched for like 2 weeks, he can set off a rose bomb, and then he could go do something for an extra, 2 weeks. That's freaking crazy, man. Chris says symbiotic abilities are about invincibility, not blocking damage from such powers. Okay. Just Jake. Yeah. I don't know what the true translation is. I don't read unofficial sites, but if you want to comment what it means, that's awesome. Chris says you should check out the exact wording of what Nasubi's butler told counts as eligible for the Succession War. It's chapter 349, first page. Let me see if I can find it. What must survive is the country. The people. The question is who pulls the lever. You cannot be king. If you want to list the description, please do. Again, I don't have readily available. But yeah. Johnny says Abagane retired. That Ahsoka payday was legendary for him. Togashi told us that Abagane is the top. That's all I know. And I'm still in the Abagane fan club. Let's go. My man needs to start a fire, shake some fucking leaves, brush, and exercise Beyond's curse. Let's go. Let's go. Family Guy, what's up, man? It was high. It was very high. Chris says, Noko here to break Fujo's heart. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not following, but feel free to keep commenting if you want to explain. I'm trying here, guys. Sorry. Johnny says, remember that little girl on the island Gon mentioned to Killua? No, I don't. I don't. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's Little Freaks Jr. over here. Oh, she's going to be a problem, bro. She's going to. Oh. Super Saiyan little girl? No. Yeah, it reminds me of like, what was that character? Oh, Pan. Do you remember Pan from Dragon Ball? Like little girl beating the shit out of bigger people? No! Little Pan's going to kick some ass, bro. Oh, shit. No way, you. Dude didn't even bother when Gon was dying after the Nenpact, and now he wants help? Exactly! Hey, Kurapika, you think you're a good friend? Check yourself out, brother! Killua's gonna be like, ah, I'm with Aluka. What do you mean? Help you with what? Talk to Leorio. This is Leorio's moment. And by the way, wait a minute. Guys, Kurapika literally just dunked Leorio. We literally ignored him in that series of images as a friend. Come on, Togashi! What are you talking about? Like, come on! Come on! I know he's on the boat. I get the plot. I get the plot reasoning for that, but come on! I'm tired of the Leorio absence, man. Adam says, whoa, chat. Whoa, the chat just like glitched out here. Adam says, I felt like giving applause when I finished this chapter. Gon and Killua, yeah, it was, man. I got spoiled by that. However, to the earlier point and what I was saying, Kurapika, you're assuming a lot, aren't you? Huh? You know what Killua's gonna say? Sorry, can't help. And Gon will never return the message. Okay, Leorio, let's go. Come on. You know who's gonna help? You know what'd be freaking crazy? If Wobble ended up with Gyro. Can you imagine if just somehow in the verse, this little Wobble ended up under Gyro's care? Oh my freaking God, man. Can you imagine? See, this chapter, you can get nutty. You can take this chapter and you can fan canon all the stuff you want. You can make up anything you want. You can go all these different directions with it. Can you imagine that shit? Now we have Gyro caring for Wobble. So Sun Eater, what's up? And it says, Bill, the secret goat of the arc. Yeah, he is awesome, man. However, I still have death flags with him. I have red death, red bad, and he's assuming a lot about being able to use the legal system when we just saw Beyond tearing it up. And he calls him a man-child. But do you think Beyond shows his true hand to Bill? No. No way. The ending D. Yeah, Family Guy. And thank you for reminding me. Yes, ending D is who Gon will marry. So it's Noko, at least from the current ending understanding. But this is Little Freaks the disaster. All right. She's going to literally be the next Stone. She's going to be a disaster, an apocalypse. All right. That little girl is going to, hey, Saradnik. Hey, Krollo. Hisoka. Gone. She's going to destroy the verse. Okay. I'm calling it now. She's going to destroy the verse. Chris, in case you don't know, ending. Togashi has 4 endings. Yeah, he has the 4 endings. One of them was going to kill a fighting, which no way. Right. Grandpa Gon, I know that. And so Noko is the person he marries, and the granddaughter. Okay. So this little girl could be Gon's wife and the person who keeps the Freaks line going. Yeah, AB. What's up, AB? Good to see you. They're always a part of the story. I mean, Togashi still uses Gon and Killua in like official promotional shit. Like they help sell all these copies of the manga, right? So they're massive fictional entities in Japan. They're big cultural icons. Of course, they're always floating, and we do know that there were future ending plots considered by Togashi. But as a writer myself, I can tell you that what you theorize on an outline does not end up being what you publish. It's what you thought of inside. What we get as the audience is what is published. So it doesn't always equate 1-to-1. But it can tell you that he's always wanted to feature Gon and Killua in some respect at the end of the journey. Yes. So are Gon and Killua dying? Not permanently. We know that dead and returning to life is a thing. So, and then the Dark Continent, do they have like the Dragon Balls on there? Like Nanika can heal and break, but do we have an ability on the Dark Continent where you can revive people completely from death? Because we know that spirits are a thing and can be manifest and used. I mean, Ben wants to become an eternal spirit beast of Kakin, basically. Eternal. The word is eternal. So, like, this is breaking all the rules of life and death. Zombie, right? Zombie. Eternal life with a condition attached to it, a bad one. So AB asks if Gon would be an enhancer. Yes. I don't want to change Gon's personality. However, maybe Gon can enhance this a little bit. And in a way that is good for his combat prowess. You know? Not that he was stupid. He was actually a very smart fighter. But he might be able to use enhancement more creatively. Where maybe his senses could be so sharp that he can see like multi milliseconds of time with his enhanced senses, and he can react very quickly to them. I don't know, something like that. Sun Eater says, I wonder how martial law will affect the lower decks for the Phantom's attack. And will the Phantoms attack? Judging by how this arc is going, I think initially no. Here's what we know about the Phantom Troop. They want to kill Ahsoka. but they also are really upset about what Krollo was doing. So even being imprisoned is a playbook for the troop members so that they could get to a secure facility. The other thing is, like, the whole thing with the mob, we don't really know what the Char and Phaeton, Finks, and Nobunaga have planned, if anything. We don't really know. The theory is that they're going to fight the Morena goons, slaughter them, maybe get cursed or something. But then, is there and then Wang and the Joker plot, that's a huge plot that we're still waiting for. And I hope that we get more into it this batch. But do the troop have any benefit to the Joker plot? That's my point. I don't know. Yeah, AB, it's freaking amazing. Isn't it? Togashi always builds upon this crazy power system. It's outrageous. Sun Eat, whoa, chat. I wonder if Krollo can steal Hulkenberg's ability, even if in another body. Yes, because the Nen is attached to the soul. So he needs just the soul of Hulkenberg to consent to his terms and write his name and the hand and all that shit. As long as Hulkenberg's soul and spirit consents, there should be no problem. I'd assume. And if you're telling me that he needs the original body, well, then there's another plot point. But I don't think so. I think it's the will of, you're saying like the fingerprints. Yeah, maybe. But it's more about the soul and the intent, I think. Yeah, Family Guy. Yeah, exactly. Symbiotic. Yes, Hulkenberg is a symbiotic ability. My point was, we know that Hulkenberg's ability is invincible, unblockable, but is every symbiotic Nen ability unblockable? That's the question. We don't know. AB, I thought for Abagane's power, if he exercises Nen, and if the person hasn't died, he's stuck with that Nen beast until then. And Kurapika is still alive. Yes, he conjures a Nen beast that is basically the trade-off for the exorcism. So I don't think is it until the person is dead, or is it just a really long time? Someone can clarify that. But I thought it was just like there was a really long, the worse the exorcism, the more powerful the curse, the longer the beast remains. I thought that was the power. Maybe I'm wrong. Finks, I was quite sad for Leorio there. If my man isn't steering the freaking ship itself, he's the captain of the boat. I'm the captain now. What the hell are we doing, Togashi? Leorio steering the boat into an iceberg. Come on, man. Sun Eater, Leorio just needs a training arc. Well, so here's the thing, Sun Eater. I agree with you. We know he learned a Hatsu application of his net. So he definitely did some training during his medical studies. But now that he's embedded with the Zodiac, I have no doubt, like, for example, he could have had access to Basho. Not Basho. Izanagi. He could have easily had access to someone like that and learned some actual Nen power. And Leorio canonically is actually quite naturally strong. he opened a Zoldyck testing gate by himself in the cannon without proper net. Like, what? Huh? You're insane. So Leorio as an emitter has massive potential to have a great high starting point where he can then build upon that natural advantage. He's actually quite gifted for someone with his amount of training. The question is, and he's smart, he's going to be a doctor. So we know he already, one thing about his inability that people need to understand, it's visually implied that he literally uses the DNA helix in his ability. He extends his DNA through Nen to extend his limb to then hit someone from afar. What? This is crazy. So if he can use DNA and medical knowledge in an enhancement / emission way, he could make a fist. He could basically turn his fist into like steel. He could literally change his DNA with net. Like his ceiling is quite high if you apply medical expertise to his net. That's my point. It's freaking crazy. Hopefully, Fink says Leorio has his moments on the. No, he's going to be playing pool. Like, what the fuck? Leorio, aisle 3. Like, bro, he's like in line at the DMV. What the fuck is going on, man? Chris, 349. Thank you, Chris. Chris, I'm sorry I don't have the content on me. I appreciate you finding it. This scramble for the throne will be limited to only children of legal wives. Yes, the legal wives rule, who board the black whale and take part in the departure ceremony. Great. Good. However, they could still leave after the ceremony. Given how intricately the rules are being broken in this arc, they could have been on board and then escaped. But to my point as well, the Nen ceremony, like, so you're saying they were never there for the ceremony to depart, so they never got involved. But then what happens to the 14th coffin and the life torch? I would assume that in this ceremony, there would be an indicator that this prince is voided from the ceremony. And they would know that because it's so intentional that the life torch and there's something so practical and inherent about that, but we don't know. I'm opening a conversation here. So I don't, does the life torch, does the burial chamber indicate that a prince or a supposed coffin is voided from the contest? That's my question. I don't know. Yeah, again, Chris, we'll find Togashi. He will explain. We'll find out. Spencer, what's up? I got spoiled about going to Killua. I'm not trying to throw shade. New World Review popped up. Going to Killua are back. I'm like, of course. Luckily, it was not super plot relevant stuff that was spoiled. I try so hard not to get spoiled. Like, you have no idea. I don't go to the Reddit. I don't search for it. I'd like just the freaking algorithm sent me a New World video. I really tried not to get spoiled. So I knew that. And luckily, with the context, I think Kurapika is making a lot of assumptions about his friendship with Gon and Killua. Does he even know? He talked to Killua on the phone. Like, so the one thing I believe, and he knows about the Aluka situation, right? And Gon knows about it, obviously. I'm assuming Kurapika knows about it as well. Maybe Kurapika hashed it out off panel, right? Maybe they hashed it out on the phone, and Kurapika, like, both to Gon and Killua, like, he explained the situation. We just didn't really see the full conversation, right? And I'm a Zodiac, and I'm hunting for my clan's eyes. Like, Gon always was supportive no matter what. He said, stick a covenant chain in me, right? Like, he always said that. Now he has Yo-Yo or Nonyo or whatever the hell her name is. The next Calamity of Earth, he's obviously learning from Gon and following him right now. And unlike Jing, who would hide and make you find him, Gon is training this little girl side by side like Kite. Oh, it's so wonderful to know that Gon is training a child right now like Kite, in spirit of Kite. It's so good. It's so good that he dropped that little hint that Gon is mentoring a child in a nurturing way, not like how Jing did it, but like how Kite did it. Fantastic. AB, any opinions about Don't Freaks? He's a big nerd, bro. You know what Don't Freaks is doing? He's playing Dota 2 nonstop on the island, and he's in a invisible Nen dimension that no one can find, and he's literally just leveling up his game character and writing about the Dark Continent. Bro, this dude is crazy, but he clearly has a way to stay hidden from everybody. And with Miriam's Nen ability being displayed, I am very confident that Don't Freaks can, like, erase his existence from the island. Because everything else, how can you scale? Like, Isaac Netero, you know, Linane and Maha Zoldyck, for God's sake, Zig Zoldyck. Well, Zig Zoldyck. They looked at the Dark Continent in one look and said, this isn't worth our fucking what the hell is this? I'm like, you got creatures the size of cities eating creatures that are like, creatures the size of small countries eating creatures that are the size of big cities. What are we doing here? Why are we here? What is this? Don't Freaks is like, I'm going to sneak around. I'm going to get the nitro rice. He clearly has longevity, some way to sustain it. Isaac Netero was 120 odd years old, something like that. And Don is probably 2 to 3 times his age. What? It's almost like Don Freaks found the ring, for God's sakes. I mean, he's literally freaking Bilbo Baggins. Oh, you know, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, by the way. If Togashi wrote in like a special artifact, a ring or something else, and it basically keeps you young I would be so crazy about that. But there's an object of power, a ring of like something Nen infused. That's so like something nuts, right? I would love that. I would go crazy. Sun Eater, hopefully Togashi doesn't kill Wobble. She didn't get a chance to do anything. The he is with us right now. The she is actually Wobble. Are you talking about the he Wobble? Yeah. We're 2 hours in, guys, and very well deserved because this chapter was this was a thick chapter. Extra thick. Falcon, what's up? How are you doing? The little girl with Gon is probably Noko. Yeah. So again, thank you guys. This is why I do the chat after. I cannot keep up with everything. And I appreciate you all for your comments and insights. I do know about the theoretical endings of the story, but I don't remember all the details. So go with Noko. Little bro, Noko, no go. She's going to demolish everything. One Punch Girl. One Punch Girl is coming. Hey, Gyro. Boom! Like, bro, she's going to knock Gyro on his little tiny ass. Done. All right. AB. I think it's said he's either if they're dead or if Genthru deactivates his technique. For Abagane. Okay, well, okay, AB, I get you. I get you. Thank you for that context. But here's the thing, right? It might come down to the actual ability itself. And wait a minute. Hold on. Chat, get ready for this one. Get ready. Like, get yourselves ready. Is Countdown a symbiotic? Oh my God. Is Countdown a symbiotic Nen ability? You can't stop it? Oh. Take that and run with it. Take that and run with it. Go ahead. Theorize. Wait a minute. Unblockable. Okay. Okay. Like, in theory, that's a pretty crazy idea. But beyond assumedly is working on his own, so his curse is only his. And Togashi, I mean, Abagane is the strongest exorcist in the verse, assumedly. So we'll see. AB, imagine we finally see the crocodile ant swimming around. Bro. He's been following the boat the whole time. Crocodile has been literally following the black whale this whole time. He's in. He's in on it. Dude, this is a lot of fun, guys. Keep the comments coming. I'm having a lot of fun. This is really amazing. This chapter is a lore dump. So the more you say, the better my Nen power. Like, the more you talk, the more I talk. Family Guy says, yeah, you'd think Nasubi would be able to track the princes like Morena. Yes. Both as game masters. Yeah, exactly. I would assume so. No Way Out, what's up? And who's helping go and get his end back? Hisoka. No. The Hunter Association and Jing, probably. Well, hang on a minute. Okay, I just thought of something really funny. Okay, guys, paint this picture in your head, right? Think about this right now, okay? Jing and Periston go to the Dark Continent. Periston wants to get Gon's Nen back, and Jing doesn't. Talk about that right now. Can you imagine the chaos that would ensue? Periston's like, Gon must be revived at full strength. And Jing is like, fuck you, it's my son. What are you talking about? I want him to get this stupid shit back. Talk about yourselves. That is a crazy idea. AB, would Alaka be able to wish the success? AB! Holy shit, AB! Holy crap, bro! You just won the comment of the day. No, oh my God! AB guys, you all have been fantastic. AB, you just blew apart the theory. You just did it, man. I don't know if you heard that from someone else. That idea is holy shit. Like actually end the war through Aluka? Are you out of your freaking mind? Now, by the way, I think Aluka is stronger than the entire cocking ceremony, but I don't know if there would be a penalty to that. But that stopping the ceremony, that is centuries of postmortem. Then, even for a calamity, the way they're setting up, that's an interesting question. Your point is nuts, though. Like, guys, come on, that's outrageous. Sun Eater, Mr. Wing. Oh. Zushi. Zushi! Let's go. Zushi still being a scrub? I'd love that. Zushi still learning. Like, he's not even out of. That would be amazing. Oops. AB says, Countdown compared to Hulk ability has a way to deactivate it. I caught the bomber. Okay, that's right. But AB as well, what if you don't actually get to say that? Or I caught, like, the point is, you have to catch them, but the Nen ability itself is invincible unless you do. That's my point. You have to catch the bombers and say that, but unless you do that, is the Nen invincible from exorcism and everything else? Even though Abagane like got rid of it, that's the point. So it's not invincible. That's why we talk about this. That's why we do this shit, man. That's why we talk about it. Okay. That's why it says not invincible. All right. So they're scrubs. AB says, do you think Togashi still wants Gon and Ahsoka to fight again? I'm really trying to think about this. I'm trying to like go into the writer's bag here. I'm going to take you back to chapter 357. The statement Ahsoka made was so absolute. It's as if he just gave up on caring about Gon at all. And that was also implied that, look, he was revived by postmortem Nen. And his willpower was put into this revenge plot. And by the way, Frollo is a way bigger sexual target for Ahsoka than Gon is. Basically, the person in front of Ahsoka now, Frollo, has all these other toys that he has to break in order to really get to. Because he just lost, right? But now he wants to kill the whole spider. And so with that, you can expect that he's going to get to the main prize by breaking all the legs. If Ahsoka had said, I got to kill Frollo, that's different. He said 10 more to go. That indicates he wants to destroy the whole spider from, and what would make Frollo the most miserable and make Ahsoka the most aroused is if he destroyed all of the Phantom Troop members before fighting Frollo again. The payoff there is so crazy. It's so nutty, but that's what was framed in the manga. That was framed. So I think Frollo is his boyfriend, his husband. But he's going through all of this relationship bullshit And he has to get rid of all these, friends and plus ones. And I'm trying to say it in the most relationship-based way, but I feel like that has been framed in Crollo's, purpose as his ultimate marriage character. And Illumi's married to him. So, in a sense, he married Illumi just so he could have even more satisfaction of having an affair with Crollo. If that's what I make sense. Gon, there's no narrative equivalent to Gon right now at all. That is all the emphasis is on this marriage to Illumi and then the affair with Crollo, and he's going to go through all of these other plus ones to get there. That's basically what's being. Okay. No Way Out says that's if we're assuming Jing cares about it. No. So, great question. No Way Out. Once Gon found him, he completed his conditions. Jing allowed him to visit him at the World Tree. He earned his respect. And Jing told him about his life, and they reminisced. It is obvious that Jing cares about Gon in a way that he believes in him. And, now we have Noko, this other character. Maybe Jing kind of alluded to that. There's a little girl I want you to meet on Whale Island, right? There's something there. There's something there. Why would Gon just take on a random little girl? There's no way. Someone had to convince him to do that. So why not Jing? Right? If Gon found Jing, Jing would believe in Gon to mentor someone else. That's my point. Falcon. It would be neat if Togashi used this opportunity to set boundaries on what Nanika can. Well, wait a minute. We do have boundaries. The boundaries are the conditionality of her wish granting and healing. She has to touch the victim physically. Those are massive conditions. I think we explored Nanika's conditions pretty well. If there are deeper layers to her wish granting, sure. But I think we have a pretty good sense of the conditionality. Falcon, it would be hilarious if this was actually on the show. Are you talking about Nanika on the, wait, what? Are you talking about Killua and Nanika? No, they're in some Amsterdam village. They're not in the boat. That's not the boat. Nah, they're outdoors. And they're in this kind of villagery sort of, it's kind of a Slavic-y sort of aesthetic. Kind of. Yeah, no, they're not on the boat. This is like Amsterdam. No Way Out. Killua versus Illumi over Gon versus Sokka. That is a base take, and I think it's well earned. I think that's a very good point. Frankly, in terms of plot, Illumi has way more influence over Killua's destiny than Hisoka has over Gon's. 100%. 100%. Especially with Nanika in the equation. AB. I think Togashi had more fun having a romantic angle with Machi and Hisoka than with just getting rid of Machi. Hisoka's Togashi's a little horny bastard. We got to understand. Look at the We're Gay Bisky shit. Why did he write that? Why did Togashi write a love interest with Bisky? Come on. Why? Because he's a horny little devil, man. Look at Yu Yu Hakusho. Bro, he loves sexuality, gender, messing around. He loves this shit. He loves girl idol bands. What the fuck? Go look it up. He loves idol girl bands. Togashi's a madman. He's crazy. And so he probably found it more fascinating for Hisoka to have his one night stand crush in play than to get rid of her. Literally, that's the only reason I think that's there. Oh, yeah, Mr. Smith, Miss Smith relationship. Yeah. AB says if Morrell was a bodyguard, he would have solved. Morrell and Nove would have dominated this arc. Dominated. Are you kidding me? Domination. Can you imagine Nove on this boat? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? AB says Maha Zoldyck must be Zig. I believe that too. Yeah, I totally agree with that sentiment and idea. Yeah. Guys, we're 2:16 in. Wow. Amazing. I'm going to go. I'll try to extend this to 2:30. For another like 15 or so minutes, okay? And I think that's a good amount of time. And we have the World Cup this afternoon. I know people have to go. Maybe to parties and stuff. So. Falcon says, what I meant is that Killua, after asked Nanika to teleport them, 100% possible, Falcon. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, if they... Bro. You bring Nanika... No, wait a minute. Hold on, Falcon. I'm hype as hell, but let's take it back. Would Killua agree to put Nanika at that risk? Are you serious? Like, no. No way. No fucking shot. The whole point is to protect Aluka from danger. There is no way that Killua is teleporting Nanika, or even himself, because he has to protect her, right? The point is, this dynamic is so tight that wishing himself away makes no sense. So they have to be together no matter what. So there is no way that he's bringing her to the boat or that he's leaving her behind. There's no way. So I'm gonna call that out. No. Not at least if Togashi has done it. Now, if you like bring Aluka to Kite's mansion and they're all protecting Aluka, maybe that's a way around it. But until we see that dynamic, there's no way that Killua is just teleporting himself away from Nanika. There's no way. Yes, Sun Eater. Only a madman can write this damn story. You're damn right about that. No way, bro. I'm telling you. You're not going to see it. Nope. I think you're only going to see it when the succession war ends. Whatever the hell that even means. Like, whatever that means. And this whole plot now with Gon and Killua kind of back in the fold at some level. Now, Pariston, like, now we have some momentum to use these characters, make new plots, come up with new ideas. That is a perfect chance to do that. So, yeah, Falcon, bro. This is the beauty of Hunter x Hunter. Like, we have to talk about the craziness of the plot. Like, Togashi's crafted such a crazy plot here that we have to always consider this and that and this and that. Like, he doesn't just do ABC. One Piece is pretty ABC. This is like A to Z. Like, he could pull out H. A to H. Like, wait a minute, A to H? What do you mean A to H? Well, like, he pulls out the whole alphabet. So, like, we have plots that go 20 letters in. We don't know. Like, so that's where he gets into his bag, and it's pretty crazy. No Way Out. Saraynik and the troop have to be connected. No, you're not tripping. No, you're not tripping because No Way Out, some people theorize Cyclone is the one who orchestrated the Kurta massacre. That's a big theory that's out there. So yes, if that's true, and Cyclone had some involvement with the human trafficking, then all of a sudden, both Frollo and Kurapika become victims of the system. What? We could get to some crazy stuff if we, and Bill, wait a minute. Let's talk about it right now while we're talking. Bill literally hints at this. Where is it? Here we go. On page 12 or 12 or 11 or 12. I think it's 12. Bill says, sure, you're the type to stick to your guns once you commit yourself. A lot of villains are like that. Fantastic. That is such a hint to Crollo. It's insane. Like that is such a hint to Crollo. Bro. It's perfect. It's perfect. Sun Eater, Cyclone, the Joker? Sure, why not? Why not? Falcon, Bill bringing this. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Bill is bringing the sass, and in a good way. That's Togashi kind of playing with the idea that Kurapika is thinking more like a villain than a hero. He's being very deliberate and intentional, and he's kind of cutthroat about it too, in a way that a villain could also do. That's Togashi's writing, 100%. But it's to the point where if Cyclone is the kingpin behind both the human trafficking issue with the troop and the Kurta massacre, we have the ultimate villain right there for both Frollo and Kurapika. There it is. Guys, I'm going to be on for a couple more minutes, so please post. What do you think is going to happen next chapter? Guys, next chapter predictions, let's do that now. We have Gon and Killua back here. What? Kurapika thinking he has friends? What? Are you sure about that, buddy? Are you absolutely sure they're going to help you? Wait a minute. Leorio, where is he? What the fuck? Are we seeing Borkson next chapter? I'm going to put a Borkson notice. Are we seeing Borkson next chapter? Because I feel like this is where we go to the Borkson group, the Cyclone troops. Do you think we're going to see them? All right. Last chat chance, guys. So there's my question, and please feel free to chat what you'd like. Falcon says, someone took one of the viruses from Ben. Well, no, that was Fury Cove. Fury Cove did that last chapter. Well, no. Balsamico took that vial, infected Hulkenberg's corpse, and then Fury Cove took a second batch not under Ben's purview from the weapons of mass destruction from Unma. Ah, Falcon, what the? Oh my God. There we go, Falcon. You're thinking the right way, bro. That's what I want to see. That's the craziness that Togashi invites with his writing. That's the sort of shit I'm talking about. Let me show you how I can heal the human body, Cheetle. Oh, Leorio, don't make me so moist. Like, come on, bro. And then Ahsoka is in the toilet. Oh, that's really nice. Like, come on, bro. Holy shit. Last thoughts, guys, and we're gonna call it a chapter today. That was what a crazy series of events. Lots of lore building, lots of positioning. Sun Eater, yeah, right? Dude, Hisoka is the ultimate cuck sort of guy. Like, but he's like in a weird way, like he's cucking other people's relationships. He likes watching other people get violated, and then, but like that's their thing, and then he goes he ruins all of the friendships of the person he loves before he does the deed. He basically violates all of the friendships that his love interest has. Then he approaches his love interest and goes, "Hey, want to go out to dinner?" Like that's Hisoka's MO. Jokes aside, cut to yeah, Falcon. I do agree. I think Sari, yes, but also Borkson. I think Borkson right now would be awesome. We get that dynamic with the Saridnik 7 or whatever, however many they are, and we look at the scheme with Morena hovering in the background, and we devise a plot there. I don't think we're getting any action, but we might get a plot. So if we can get a plan in place from the Saridnik group, then we have Parapika's plan. We have, by the way, Melody, Cacho, like the whole plan against Loserus. And this man, it looks like he's, taking control, but there's a whole plot against him. So, he seems like he's cool-headed and in control, but now we have Melody and that whole thing going on. So what's going to happen with Loserus, right? So yeah, I think a Borkson plot would be really awesome here. And in this batch, I would love to see Beyond actually confirm some form of legal positioning or power with the Supreme Court, where it depends on what they do, but this is out of the election arc. During the succession ceremony, you raise a lawsuit. What? You raise a lawsuit through the Supreme Court with the actual Kingdom of Kakeen, and you start a legal hearing during the ceremony. That is exactly what I hope Beyond does here. And then Cleopatra is complicit. You have a dirty judge on top of it. That's what I'm getting at. That's I hope we see that, because it would lead to a lot of cool stuff. Last chance for comments, guys. I am going to be closing it up soon. This has been what a wonderful session. Great chapter. Lots of meat to digest. We have Gon and Killua floating in the plot. What do you guys think for next week? Give me your thoughts. Yeah, it's been a long one, guys. So if you guys have written enough, I totally get it. I'll give just a minute or two more for some comments, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, I mean, look at Togashi is going into his bag. He really is. I mean, everything written here was important. Everything was important to the plot. And we're also getting like some of Bill's motivation. And Bill thinks he can use the law in his favor. No, you can't. Like, Beyond's read the whole Constitution, all the laws, 1,000 lawsuits? Are you crazy? You can't fight a guy in 1,000 lawsuits. He's not doing that just because. 1,000 lawsuits. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You're screwed. Dude, nobody willingly reads legal documents. Nobody willingly, because they're a man-child, reads legal documents. Nobody. Nah, man. No, this right here, page 10 or 9 or 10, 10. Page 10? No. You're cooked. Don't try the courts. You're fucked, man. You're done. You're done. Yeah, Falcon, thanks for the stream. And Ken, what's up? We just had a crazy, go back in from the beginning. I'm about to close shop here, unfortunately, but this was a really thick chapter with lots of lore dumping and lots to talk about. I went on a tirade because we're thinking about so much in terms of the current plot, what could happen. Not sure if you've been spoiled. I'm not going to say anything, but a pretty crazy ending to this chapter, which I was spoiled on. So hope you have fun in the playback. And leave your comments in the video if you have any thoughts. Anyway, guys, I'm going to close the stream here. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week. And I will be back, I'm assuming, next Sunday. If that, for some reason, doesn't work, it's next Monday, but I'm planning for next Sunday. Take care, everyone, and go to the World Cup. Have fun.